You mean Gears of More?
Right. Oh, man. Okay, Chris, sir, are you ready to dive into our topic of the week?
I'm ready. My earplugs, my nose plug, shower cap. I'm ready.
Perfect. Okay. Now, we've been talking a lot about Gears of War. I mean, with Gears of War 4 right around the corner, there's a lot of Gears in the news. But one interesting thing with Gears, it's always been kind of a third-person action shooter. So it's always been, every game, never changed. But would you be interested if a Gears of War game came out that wasn't a third-person shooter genre?
James, since you brought that up, yes, I would.
Well, the whole reason we're bringing this up, GameStop was talking to the head of Xbox, Phil Spencer, and Chuck, I'm totally going to mess his name up, Osija. He's the creative director over at the Coalition, and they were over at Xbox Fan Fest. And someone asked them, if Gears of War could expand in any genre, what would it be? Now, they were kind of very careful on what they were going to say, as they always are. But what Phil Spencer said, he said, we got the team together and talked about the future of Gears of War. I think there's multiple ways you can tell a story, multiple gameplay genres. I think it's a really big IP, and it's an IP that could exist in linear form, in books, and in different gaming genres going forward. So, I mean, that just kind of brings up the question, would Gears of War work in a different genre? I mean, where would you like to see it?
So, first off, I'm a big fan of dancing with the one that brought you, right?
Right.
Gears is a third person that is redefined what cover-based shooting is. I didn't even realize the influence it had until I started playing it, and even going back to the first game and playing it, just seeing that influence over other games that I had played over the years, that I just missed because I never played Gears, that were all influenced by it. So I will say that first and foremost, I would never want to see Gears be replaced like in the mainline series. So just like I feel like that it needs to stay there. For me, and we kind of mentioned this a little when we were talking about games that were coming out on the shop right now. I would like to see a tactics game. So, okay. So probably it's funny. Everybody calls me the walking simulator guy in our circles because I'm very much a story driven and narrative driven sort of gamer and just person in general. Even songs. My favorite songs are normally songs with like a heavy narrative structure. That's just the way that I'm programmed.
Like The Wheels on the Bus. I hear that's a pretty great song.
Because they go round and round.
They do.
You know what I mean?
And the wipers go swish, swish, swish.
They go round and round. Yeah, because everything has
all through the town, man.
It's all through the town. See, that's where the narrative comes through. If it wasn't all through the town, it would just be a bus. You know what I'm saying? So that being said, my second favorite genre, I think, is probably tactics. Advanced Wars. I probably put more time in Advanced Wars on the GBA than probably any other Game Boy Advance game that I had. The Fire Emblem series I love. Final Fantasy Tactics love. Ogre Tactics. Like, I love tactics games, and I think that Gears is really kind of set for that because most of the time, especially in the Prime series, you normally end up with like 4, maybe 5 guys on your squad or ladies on your squad, and then you're fighting a horde, right? And so like that translates to a pixelized checkerboard battlefield where you have these 4 guys and you're flanking enemies and taking down emergent holes, and it just, like, to me, I would want to play that game.
Sure. And I think I agree. I feel the same way. I think that's the best place Gears would work. But I mean, what about something like, not this would happen, but like how Telltale picks up new properties, makes very story-driven games, and it can kind of put action in there every once in a while. Do you think Gears would work in something like that, where it's a very heavy story-based, or do you think the story in Gears isn't strong enough?
So I think that could happen. I think the lore is strong enough. Now I haven't finished 3 yet, so I don't know what all happens with Marcus's dad and how that's all going to resolve. But there could definitely be some prequel type stuff and how his dad originally got involved. Again, not knowing if that's resolved or not, but maybe how he got involved with the whole thing, at the beginning. And little baby Marcus running around, oh, Dad, I need some Cheerios, something like that. Could be.
Come on,
could be really cool. Again, I don't know what happens at the end of Gears. We know that 4 is picking up where JD, spoilers, who is Marcus's son, is an adult. So maybe there's a story in there between how things got to the way they are from the end of Gears 3 into there.
Sure.
It could be told.
Now one thing I will say with the whole JD thing, just because of the way Marcus's character is written, and how gruff he is, he's one of those characters where it's hard to see him being a dad. Kind of like with the new God of War on PlayStation side, where new stuff they showed at E3 where Kratos is a dad and all that stuff. There's certain characters that are just hard to see as a quote unquote family man. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, but I've equated to Marcus a lot in that he feels a lot to me like Old Man Logan.
Oh, sure.
And if you read comics, they're doing some interesting stuff with Old Man Logan, because they moved him into the 616 universe in the comics, and so but he's kind of has that almost paternal kind of instinct to him because of the world that he comes from, and so I kind of see that. I kind of see he's rough around the edges, but when it comes to his son, it's his son. It's kind of cool. But cool. No, but I agree. He is pretty gruff. Just shake it off, boy.
Now, okay, let me ask you this, because we've been talking about storylines and tactic games. Now, if you watched any of the Gears of War 4 preview footage that's been on the internet, we see Old Man Marcus a lot. And there's a battle going on around his home, and one of the enemies steps on his tomatoes, goes, "My tomatoes," or something along those lines. So he really cares about.
Give me Farmville.
Right, that's what I was gonna say. How about there's a game like Harvest Moon, only you're Marcus? It's like Harvest Gears or something, and you're planting tomatoes and stuff.
I'll be all for that.
Sure.
Oh yeah.
Well, now,
that'd be good.
Dude, it could be like
all that I want to play.
Dude, because if you try to fit it into the Mario formula, we got Mario, and they got Mario Party and Dr. Mario. What about Gears of War Party and Marcus, Dr. Marcus, and all these he's dropping little pills down there.
No. I'm all for comic stuff like that. But I think it should be I would be okay with Xbox cart and have
right,
Master Chief on a Warthog and Marcus on one of those stupid tank things.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't want a whole just Gears focused game.
Sure. Well, let's kind of get out of the Gears of War game genres now. Wait!
I had one more.
Sure.
One more really good one.
Okay, what do you got?
I want to play Coltrane. Sport. What does he play? Not Griffball's Halo. What does he play?
Oh, geez. Oh my gosh, I can't think of it. It's something ball. Why can't I think of what it's called?
Yeah.
It's like Bash Ball or something weird. Thrash Ball. Thrash Ball.
Thrash Ball.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want Thrash Ball 17.
Oh, sure.
And I just want to play a season of Thrash. I want to play as Coltrane in Thrash Ball. I would play the crap out of that. Just give me a downloadable, like a 12 team, conference Thrash Ball tournament.
Dude, that would be something that'd be really awesome if they had, maybe down the line Gears 5 or whatever, and it's a pre-order bonus. That would be awesome. That would be so cool. But real quick, to shift out of gaming genres, because they said it could exist in other forms such as books, do you think it would work as a TV show or a movie? Does Gears of War have a strong enough story? Could they make a movie out of it?
Yeah, I think that they will make a movie at some point.
Kind of like how they're going to make a Halo movie.
Yeah, I actually think Gears is not only a better story,
Mm-hmm.
but it would be an easier movie to make. And what I mean by that is, if you look at something like Warcraft, because you're not recreate, maybe I guess to a certain extent Halo. For me, Halo feels a little more grounded,
Okay.
which then means more practical effects.
Mhm.
But
Because it does have
Gears
there
to
are
me-
actual humans in Halo, right?
Yeah,
It's actually about
but for me, Gears feels more fantastical. So you could basically just create everything on like a kind of a green screen,
Mhm.
kind of like the way they do Alice in Wonderland or the way they did Warcraft, where most of it's just like green screen. It's very, very kind of over exaggerated, worlds and stuff.
Yeah.
The key is, and what Warcraft missed is that there's not really a decent story in Warcraft that anybody cares about.
Mhm.
You also can't make one of the main factions orcs because people can't relate to orcs.
Right. Yeah.
So the fear, I think, for Gears is getting people to relate to people that aren't humans,
Sure.
technically, like Earthlings. But if you could get over that barrier, because they look so much like us,
Mhm.
and obviously we don't have big giant meathead people.
Well, what they probably do, they'd probably get like those professional wrestlers that have turned actors, like The Rock,
Oh my
and get guys.
gosh.
It would probably be like The Rock and Channing Tatum and like all these like
good.
really big buff
Dude,
guys.
I love it.
The Rock would be
I think-
Coltrane, and then we'd have we'd have Channing Tatum as oh geez, now I can't think of his name. The Donatello of the group, I can't think of his name. I'm having to.
Baird.
Yeah, right, Baird. Like it's just you could totally do it, man.
Yeah. So here's my thing. My thing is I really don't like we have the Gears experience,
Mhm.
and because people see it as a quantified story or property. What they want to do is they want to just convert that exactly into a movie. And my problem is I don't want to watch Marcus's movie.
Mhm.
I've already seen it because I've played it.
Sure.
But
Right.
so for me, this is where so far video game movies have really had a hard time.
Mhm.
Is that they're just telling something that the hardcore fans have already experienced, right?
Right.
So this is I'll give you a different example, but in the same way. This is why I don't like the Walking Dead TV show,
Mhm.
because I started reading Walking Dead from day one, in comic form,
Sure.
and so I've read that story. And the TV show is trying to retell that story, and they change enough stuff to try to make you care about it, but it just doesn't resonate because my experience with those characters is on the page.
Right.
Whereas Telltale takes that world of Walking Dead and gives you an amazing narrative experience that you've never experienced.
Mhm.
So that's what I want. So for a Gears
Sure,
of War movie,
sure.
I don't want Marcus's story.
Right.
I want a story set in Gears, set on Sarah,
Mhm.
set, something.
Well, okay.
Show me the fall,
Sure.
of the city or something like that.
Sure. Let me ask you this then: instead of a movie, would it work better as a TV show, like Netflix or Hulu, or because like what Netflix is doing with Marvel? Take a story, chop it into little pieces, and turn it into a show. Do you think this could work on something like that? Like maybe like a Netflix show, it's a full season of Gears of War, but it's not the Marcus story; it's the people behind the scenes, or maybe what happened at or Emergence Day, or something like that could work.
So 5 years ago, I would have said no, not
Mhm.
at all. Then Game of Thrones happened. And I don't like Game of Thrones, but they've been able to create this crazy, fantastical world that doesn't exist,
Mhm.
and they're able to maintain a consistent story and aesthetic,
Mhm.
and keep an audience. If they could do something like that, I could see it working. My problem with TV is outside of Game of Thrones, I don't really know of a show that's been able to pull off the kind of scale that Gears of War would need.
Sure.
Gears of War can't be like a sci-fi original. Like it just doesn't. Even something like I would say even something like along the lines of Battlestar Galactica did pretty well.
Mhm.
But most of that was condensed to a ship. So I guess maybe if they're able to somehow put the characters in a situation where they can still tell an epic story but be confined.
Mm-hmm.
But to me, the Gears experience is these huge open, areas where you're just marching forward and just getting attacked and having this all-out war. And I just don't know, outside of Game of Thrones, I don't know that they've ever been able to pull that off on TV.
Sure.
So, if they hire that team, sure, make that team, sure. I guess it could work.
Okay. And honestly, if Xbox ever moved forward with it, because when Xbox One launched, and like Phil Spencer said, they had so many plates spinning at one time trying to do all this stuff, and they had a TV studio. They were going to make TV shows. That was the part of the original plan, and that's what this Halo show was going to happen. And honestly, if that was still going, if that was successful, we probably would have seen a Gears of War TV show already through that platform. But okay, to tie off this topic of the week, one more question. Will we ever get that Halo TV show?
We are going to get Halo in live action at some point. I do not think Halo belongs on TV for the exact same reasons that I just said. I think Halo belongs on the big screen, and I think we will eventually see a Halo film, full feature film. Mm-hmm. I do not think that it's going to be. We may get stuff like what was what they had? Something about the night, right?
you talk the shorts they did that went along with the Halo 5 release.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Forward Unto Dawn.
Yeah,
and
right.
There was another one. We may get stuff like that, just promotional stuff, but I do not think Halo works as a weekly hour-long series. I just don't think it works.
Sure. Okay. Well, hopefully we'll get some more Gears content down the road, whether it is a movie or a totally different genre of game. I do think that Gears of War still has some potential to expand outside of the third-person shooter. Hey guys, we hope you really enjoyed this contest from Xbox Dive. If you like what you saw, make sure to comment and subscribe down below. You can also find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Till next time guys, we're out.